What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Ikeable. Today we are talking about Sombra. And the reason we are talking about our stealthy little friend is because of what we have seen in the past. We have seen many reworks to several different heroes since the initial launch of Overwatch. We can think back to Symmetra, our old Bastion, old Lucio, Roadhog, and D.Va and Mercy most recently. And when we think about it, those changes to those heroes, just to name a few, were implemented basically because of playstyle. It came down to playstyle, whether the community didn't agree with the playstyle of those heroes, or whether it was Blizzard who felt like the playstyle of those heroes wasn't exactly what they were aiming for. The reason changes came out was because of playstyle. And given that logic, I've kind of formed my own opinion about the playstyle of Sombra and why she deserves a rework, or should be considered to have like some sort of Sombra 2.0 version as well. And here's why. Don't crucify me for this, guys. It's just kind of my opinion. I just wanted to kind of talk about it with you guys. So the most effective way to play Sombra is to farm her EMP. This is not the only way to play Sombra by any means, but I would say it's the most effective way to play it. It's the way I see people on the enemy team playing her, on my team playing her, and etc. And the way you do this is by hacking a health pack, throwing your translocator onto that health pack, and then you're gonna go invisible, not necessarily all the time invisible, but you're gonna go invisible out into the fight. Hopefully, if it's a good Sombra, they'll get a pick and maybe hack somebody as well. And then they're gonna take a lot of damage on purpose. And then they're gonna translocate back to the health pack that they have hacked. And when they heal themselves with a health pack, you get a lot of fucking ultimate, especially if it's a huge heal. So if you get really super weak as Sombra and you heal yourself with a health pack, you get a lot of ult charge. And this is the best way to farm it. You can just do this over and over again and you're gonna get so many fucking EMPs. And why that's so crucial is because Overwatch is a game of team fights, and team fights are a matter of ultimate abilities. Not all the time, but most of the time, it's a matter of how you use your ultimates. And when you have a hero like Sombra who can really farm an ult, like no other hero, really, it makes it the most effective way to play that hero. And this is kind of the same issue that we saw with old Mercy. Old Mercy, the most effective way to play her was to hide behind a wall, make every fight a 5v6, and once your team was wiped, you would go out and get a huge res. That was the most effective way. You didn't have to play her that way, but that was the best way to play her. And it was really shitty because you were a 5v6 at that point. You were automatically basically at a disadvantage, which is super shitty. I preferred a healer that would be with me, healing me, and actually benefiting the fight instead of, leaving us stranded and then helping us in the end. And I feel like because of Mercy's old playstyle, that's why they gave her a huge rework to where she doesn't do that anymore. The same thing kind of goes here with Sombra's playstyle, is that Sombra does her own thing by herself. She's kind of behind the curtain. She's farming her own ultimate. She's not engaged in these 6v6 fights. Maybe that is how Blizzard intended her playstyle to be, kind of, behind the scenes, doing her own thing, making every fight a 5v6. Maybe not every fight, but generally speaking, she's kind of just doing her own thing. Hopefully she combos an ultimate with you guys. From what I've seen though, a lot of the times, my Sombra, enemy Sombras are just doing their own thing and blowing their EMPs. Because she is kind of a hard hero to get used to. So by no means is she a must pick. A lot of the times, more often than not, people are going to pick other DPS heroes instead of Sombra. So maybe that's why she hasn't been considered for a rework or anything like that. Because she's not in the spotlight like Mercy was, like D.Va was, and stuff like that. I just feel like Sombra's current playstyle is really cheesy. I feel like there's something... I'm fine with her stealthing around and stuff like that. I feel like she should just have a little bit more involvement in these, basis team fights. That's what I prefer. To put it into perspective, when you see an enemy Sombra, there's really not much you can do. What can you do? You can shoot at her and get her low on health, but more often than not, it almost never fails. she will translocate back to a health pack. So you can either enable her to farm her EMP by shooting at her, or you can just ignore her, both at which you are losing. So it's like, what can you do? I hate seeing an enemy Sombra because you know that's what they're doing. Friendly Sombras, you know that's what they're doing. This is the best way to play her. There's basically no other way to play her, because why wouldn't you do that? And I just feel like it's kind of cheesy, and I feel like she has much more potential than just that. Her rotation is too simple. I feel like she should be, you know, she should get a Lucio change or a Mercy change where she's a lot harder to play but can do a lot more. She is too simple-minded to play, I feel like. Her rotation is too easy, and it's just not enough. I feel like there could be a change. I'm not a game designer. I don't know what we could really change about her to make her more involved. Maybe they need to rework her entirely like they did with Mercy. I don't know, guys. I'm just throwing my opinion out there, my thoughts out there. Maybe you guys have some sort of opinion or noticed it too. I mean, I love Sombra. She's great. I really do. I know you can be successful. She has a lot of potential as a hero in this game. It's just when it comes down to her playstyle, it's kind of questionable in the way that old Mercy was. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have any suggestions for her abilities or what they could do to her to make her a little bit more advanced, perhaps? That's kind of what I'm looking for, is an advanced Sombra. Someone who's much more viable, who's much more, you know, team-based. She can be sneaky and stuff, that's fine, that's cool, that's great, but maybe just a little more advanced and team-based, like I was saying. Maybe you guys know what she could use. Let me know, leave it in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what you guys could think would help her in that sense. Let's get a discussion going, let's talk. Anyways guys, that is gonna do it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I upload every single Thursday, sometimes Monday. You can also follow me on Twitter if you'd like that too. I will catch you guys next week. My name is Ikeable. Peace.